Metro in-app. The woman undressed. Take off your shoes. Folding the clothes neatly with the shoes. Sarah just got off the train. Attracted to a woman's abnormal behavior. Walk in slowly to check. Then the woman heard footsteps and turned her body. Sarah was stunned. The woman in front of him actually looks exactly like him. The woman, however, when she saw Sarah, appeared unusually calm. After looking at Sarah with tears in her eyes, turned and walked towards the approaching train. Died instantly under the wheel. Everything happened too suddenly. Sarah was completely confused. See with your own eyes. A man dies exactly like herself. Makes her scared and sad. Wait for her to calm down a little. Looking back, I saw the woman's leather bag on the ground. She made a quick decision. Took the purse out of the mess. Wait until you leave the station and come to a secluded place. She opened her purse to check. From the ID in the bag, the woman's name is Lisa. In addition to that, there are also one red and one black in the bag, 2 mobile phones and a key to open up doubts. She went to Lisa's place according to the address on the ID. After confirming that there is no one in the room, start looking for clues. Men's clothes and photos from the closet. It can be seen that Lisa lives with her boyfriend, but the note left by the boyfriend said going on vacation. Won't be back until Saturday. In addition to that, Sarah also discovered she had $75,000 in her bank account. That's a lot of money for Sarah. You can start a new life with your daughter. When she saw the report on the news, when Lisa's identity has not been confirmed, instantly had a bold idea. She started watching videos of Lisa before she died, studying her manners and speaking habits. Dyed hair of the same color. Imitate her signature. Then the bank card friction to gaussing. The next day, she took on the identity of Lisa, appeared gracefully in the bank lobby, and her boyfriend Faizai, who was also an orphan with her, contact the police to identify the girl Sarah, who committed suicide. However, the bank manager told Sarah large amounts of cash must be reserved in advance. When Sarah saw the charity trophy behind the manager, got an idea. She said she could sponsor the manager's next philanthropic project. So the manager immediately agreed to withdraw the money the next day. He also volunteered to ask Sarah if she wanted to check the safe. Sarah thought there would be a windfall. As a result, except for a few documents that I couldn't understand, nothing. And when Sarah walked out of the bank, a police car stopped in front of her. Sarah thought she had been discovered, suddenly broke out in a cold sweat. A black police officer who got out of the car. He seem to want to arrest her. Just get her in the car right now. I heard her shout Lisa's name. Said she was going to be late soon. Sarah was relieved and got into the car. After getting in the car, through some complaints from the black brother, Sarah generally judged that it seems that Lisa did something to implicate Brother Black, but never thought. Brother High took her to the police station. Looking at the police, Sarah could only force herself to stay calm and follow Brother Black into the room. When someone calls her agent, she just realized. It turned out that Lisa's identity was actually a police officer. A few days ago, a hostage was accidentally killed in the line of duty. Today is the official day of her hearing. Looking at a room full of cops, she hid in the bathroom under the pretext of going to the toilet to find a way. I wanted to get money, so I got out, but I didn't expect to provoke the police. She wants to call Faizai, make her give up the plan. As a result, Faizai was claiming the body in the morgue at this time. The phone has no signal at all. Sarah tried to calm herself down. When she saw the hand sanitizer, she had an idea. I saw her quickly, unscrewed, in her hands, tried to take a sip of hand sanitizer. How bad is it? How dangerous is her situation? Because she's at the police station, is impersonating a cop who looks just like her. After returning to the room, she was asked to explain the shooting of civilians while on duty. This identity, she only used it for less than a day. Where do you know this? So face the questioning from above. She responded with a puke. The hearing members immediately moved away. Sarah fudged through a level. Here we go. When receiving occupational decompression counseling from a psychiatrist, facing various questions from a psychiatrist, she cited psychological stimulation as an excuse. Either forgot or didn't want to talk about it. The psychiatrist almost broke down, hastily ended the inquiry. I thought I would wait until the next day to get the money. Can end it all. That night, Lisa's boyfriend Paul suddenly returned home. Facing those closest to Lisa, Sarah gets nervous. The more you talk, the easier it is to reveal. So Sarah chose not to speak. It was hard until the next morning. She tried to get away from Paul's entanglement, rushed to the bank. With the help of the bank manager, Sarah quickly got $75,000 in cash. She couldn't hide the joy in her heart. Immediately drive to Faizai's residence. Prepare to bring your girlfriend and daughter and leave here as soon as possible. Start a new life. As a result, Faizai was not at home. Saw his own condolence notice on the table. She immediately understood what was going on. So she looked across the river, watching a bunch of friends give themselves a funeral. But when it's over, Sarah just got back in the car. Suddenly, someone opened the door and sat up. She looked back. I was shocked. Another person who looks exactly like me. And the other party is also German. Apparently, the Germans also took her for Lisa. She said she had got the suitcase. Let her hurry up and take herself to meet her scientist friend. However, Sarah was completely confused at this time. I don't even understand what she's saying. I can only prevaricate her. The Germans have been refusing to see her. Tell her again. In fact, her colleague Heige has been following her all the time. They don't have much time. Now, things were going completely beyond Sarah's comprehension. She just wants to get out as soon as possible. Facing her abnormal behavior, the Germans immediately became vigilant, said a code word.
Just one. I'm with you, no family too. Who am I? You're not bad.
A bullet went through the window, ended the lives of the Germans. Looking at the bullet holes in the glass, Sarah instinctively got down to avoid, successfully dodged the bullet that was shot at her. She didn't have time to think about it. Start the car now. 1 foot of the accelerator escapes the shooter's sight. At this time, the German and Lisa's cell phones of the same style rang one after another. Sarah had a lot of questions on her mind at this point. She hesitated for a moment, picked up Lisa's phone and answered it. The other party should be Lisa's real-world friends. Ask for the whereabouts of the Germans. After learning that the Germans were killed, the other party immediately came to a conclusion. It seems that someone is really after them. Then the other party repeatedly told her to find the suitcase and take hair and blood samples from Germans. Then he hung up the phone. Sarah was panicking, but the body still needs to be disposed of as soon as possible. Sarah took the Germans, all items with identity information, then buried her body. Then they got rid of the blood in the car. Finally, after she took the car for repair, come to Fei Zai's house. Hand the purse with the cash to Fei Zai, sharing the only joy of the day. This is also the future for Sarah and her daughter. As a result, Fei Zai opened the leather bag and found, except for the information of the hearing, and a Black Brothers business card, not a dime. Sarah, who had been tossed around for a day, broke out completely. I vented on the furniture in the house. It turns out that when Sarah drove to the bank this morning, the Black Brothers followed. When Sarah came looking for Fei Zai, opened the trunk and took the money. Sarah, who became quiet, immediately decided she has to be Lisa again. That money has to be taken back. So she immediately called to meet Brother Heige. After the meeting, Sarah told Brother Black, that money is all the savings of myself and my boyfriend. But Brother Black doesn't think so. Original. Lisa shot and killed a civilian while working on a case a few days ago. She didn't call the police immediately. Instead, I asked my partner Heige to help deal with the scene. So Brother Heige suspected that she was taking money to do things for others. If they can't justify themselves at this hearing, then the Black Brothers will inevitably be implicated. Therefore, the two of them must consider in advance the various challenges that the hearing may encounter. Make the process of the crime more reasonable to get that money back. Sarah studied all the data all night, so Brother Heige is quite satisfied with her performance. But in order to prevent her from going missing again, before this matter is dealt with, Black Brother 1T returned the money to her. Sarah is also helpless. However, Sarah has just arrived at Fei Zai's place. Lisa's pink phone rang again, already 2 in a row. People who look like them die. No one wants to solve the mystery more than she does. So after a moment of hesitation, she picked up the phone again. The same voice as last time. The other party asked her to find it immediately. The suitcase left by the Germans in the hotel, because someone is already looking for it. Sarah got her hotel room card when she buried the Germans, so it's easy to find that hotel. Got the stored suitcase through the front desk service. Then she came to a deserted place. Throw the suitcase and smash it on the cement table. After the suitcase is opened, the identification documents inside shocked her even more. These people all look like themselves, but in different countries. There are already 2 people who look like them die. What the hell are these people? On a note later found in the suitcase, remember a name and a local address. This is most likely German, a clue discovered during his lifetime. So she immediately came to the address. Here are the results. She saw the 4th person who was exactly like herself. This person's identity is a football coach. When I saw that she was also using it, when the same phone as Lisa and the German, Sarah suspects. Very likely, she's the one who keeps calling herself. So he followed her and sneaked into the lounge. However, she was not surprised by Sarah's appearance, but very conflicted. It can be seen that she knows the truth. I don't want my life to be disturbed. Facing Sarah's entanglement, she had to promise to let Sarah go back and call, and told her to hide her face when she left. Don't let her children see. Here Sarah just left the court. I received a call from Brother High. It turns out that the last time she received psychological counseling, either forgot or didn't want to answer. As a result, the psychiatrist gave results that are not suitable for continued work. The hearing was postponed indefinitely. Brother High said that this matter will not be resolved for a day. She wouldn't he return the money to Sarah for a day. Sarah was furious when she heard it. Find a psychiatrist immediately. Facing her with a business-like attitude, Sarah hits the nail on the head, claiming to have killed civilians, probably caused by taking psychotropic drugs. It turned out that Sarah had sent it at Lisa's house. There's a lot of psychoactive drugs. 9 times out of 10, she was prescribed by a doctor, and that's all illegal. Facing Sarah's threat, the doctor had to pass the test, so the hearing went ahead. Since this time Sarah has made sufficient preparations, so it passed the review very easily. The next step is to wait for the verdict. And then she got a call from her coach. Let her bring the German suitcase to her house to meet. So this night, Sarah went to the coach's residence accompanied by Faye's Eye. She let Faye's Eye guard the door, entered the room by herself.
Hey, I'm Kasima.
Bloody hell.
We talked on the phone.
How many of us are there?
And the information in the suitcase shows those 3 different nationalities. There are now 8 of us in the world. Sarah has 100,000 whys in her head right now. The coach told her to hand over the suitcase quickly. Don't ask anything else. Ask nothing. That's not Sarah's personality. She immediately expressed that she could not get the truth. Never hand over the suitcase.
We're clones. We're someone's experiment and they're killing us off. Is that helpful?
The answer is really powerful. Lived for more than 20 years. I just found out today that I'm not human. And when she came back, she debunked it. I still believe in my own authority. I am what I am. She decided that the plan would not change. Get that money back from the Black brother. Then take your daughter and fly away. So the next day, she went to the Black brother to ask for the money. It was just rejected. I was called into the office by my boss, notified Sarah that she could be reinstated. This is undoubtedly good news for both of them. But with it comes another danger. Sarah has the police equipment she brought back. I was in a hurry in the bathroom for a long time. The last magazine that had nowhere to be placed was followed by her, stuffed in the ass pocket. And this is it. Soon got her into trouble again, because the money hasn't been received yet. She has to continue to play the role of a good cop. However, when I went to the police with my Black brother partner, came to the German burial site, Sarah's heart couldn't help but gallop, but still bit the bullet and entered the scene. But fortunately, the body was badly damaged by the excavator when it was executed. Looks ruined, unrecognizable. Sarah just breathed a sigh of relief. My colleague came to report that the fingerprints are still intact, so Sarah immediately made an excuse to leave. Go call the glasses girl. The answer is that their fingerprints match exactly, but if they don't have a criminal record, it shouldn't be matched. Sarah, on the other end of the line, went silent.
Do you have a criminal record? Just petty fraud, assault, whatever. Wasted youth, alright?
Yeah. The girl with glasses is also speechless. Fortunately, the police are better than fingerprinting. It will take some time. There is still a chance to remedy. So she asked Sarah to bring the suitcase and meet at night. This woman is impersonating a police officer in the police station. But she really doesn't know how to wear police equipment. And this is when a police officer comes in.
Do you want help with that?
Yeah, you might?
Colleague relationships are really difficult. And finally, a nowhere-to-be-placed magazine is put in the fart pocket by the salad. As a result, this action caught the attention of the Black brothers. Immediately demanded to check her firearms. Sure enough, it's an empty gun. An empty gun is a mistake Kaniao would never make. Although Sarah has repeatedly emphasized the reason, the Brother High still decided not to return the money to her for the time being. At night, Sarah meets the bespectacled girl with her suitcase. Turns out she's the scientist the Germans keep talking about. PhD in biological evolution from the University of Minnesota. 6 months ago, the Germans found Lisa. Tell her that her genes are being traced in Europe. So Lisa used her job to do facial recognition. Founded coaching and science again. But who is the main body? Who created them? Who is going to kill them? These are unknowns. Now Lisa is dead. If Sarah remains at the police station, as as she is. It is more conducive for them to find the answer as soon as possible. The next day, Sarah just arrived at the police station. Someone called Brother Black anonymously.
Am I speaking to your partner now too, Art?
Actually, we love voice change apps, so, the whole office is listening.
She was just one of a few. Unfit for family. Horse glue.
So you didn't like her very much. How about you tell us her name?
She expired at Ellenside Park.
Apparently, only Sarah could understand these words. This is the killer threatening Lisa. Fortunately, murderers confuse logic. Black Brother only understands. The murder scene is in Allen Park. When Heitch came out of the scene, Sarah, because of the last magazine incident, left at the police station for fingerprint comparison. In the end, I didn't expect the opportunity to send it to the door by myself. So she said a few words. Got the computer maintenance guy at the bureau. Both reset Lisa's computer password. I also learned the verification process of fingerprints. So she called science. Although I have now destroyed my fingerprints. But the killer has already contacted the Black Brother. And it gets worse. The next day, she had to go to shooting practice. But she never touched a gun. So science told her to meet someone the next day. And the next day, it was the coach. This woman. I suddenly realized that there is another self in the world. And there's more than one. Police officer Lisa committed suicide by lying on the rails. The German who was shot dead. Then I met the coach and the science. From their mouths, they are all for an experiment. Born clone. And is being hunted by a mysterious organization. To find out the truth, Sarah can only fake it temporarily. Lisa, who committed suicide, continues to stay at the police station, but they are constantly in danger of being exposed. For the next day's shooting practice, Science asked a football coach to teach her how to shoot. It turns out that ever since I knew someone was going to destroy them, to cover up the truth about illegal experiments, to protect the family, the coach learned to shoot from Lisa. I have to say Sarah is a great material. Just use guns. It takes a while for a gun to hit. On the way back, the coach told Sarah she offered Lisa a huge sum of money, specially used to buy. They can get information from the officials. Hope Sarah can get the money from the bank. Heard here, Sarah's heart suddenly turned cold. It turns out that someone else knew about the money. Sarah, who was coached the next day, performed well in shooting training. Another perfect pass. Then they got a report. Someone found out when the Germans were killed. Motorcycles appearing at the scene. The two followed the clues and quickly came to a private house. During the search, Sarah, from a Bible, found a copy of Lisa's ID. Too late to think. Hidden it secretly while Brother High wasn't paying attention. Then the Black Brother is on the wall. Found a handwritten Bible quote. Sarah is about to go over to check, but suddenly found a gun has been pointed at the Black Brother outside the window. Sarah quickly tackled her, although Brother High escaped, but still slightly injured. She told Sarah to go after the criminal first. But where has Sarah ever experienced such a scene? So she turns on you stop, and I stop. You run, and I chase mode. In a daze, he chased after the remote place. She waited for the other party to run away before chasing after him. As a result, just when she reported the location to the Black Brothers, but by criminals from behind, attacked to the ground. The opponent is holding a dagger. Shouting Lisa's name is about to do it. This is what she has seen. The fifth person who looks like you. And her target. It was Lisa who had borrowed her identity. Stopped after the killer confirmed she wasn't Lisa. Take this opportunity. Sarah felt a steel bar beside her. Stabbed her in the abdomen. The angry killer took out his pistol. After the killer left, Black Brothers will arrive soon. Sarah quickly hid the dagger and concealed it from colleagues. The fact that I have seen each other's faces. Black Brother regrets. Let her go after it. And as he was leaving, he took out the money and he gave it back to Sarah. In the evening, Sarah came to the ladies' window again, looking at my daughter Gila. Now she finally understands. Maybe I don't have the ability to take care of my daughter yet. She has to figure out what's going on in front of her first. Now she can stay out of it. Sarah finds a coach, return the money to her, and admits that he did want to take the money and leave. But now she's changed her mind. Science infers from the pattern of the dagger. The killer is likely to come from a church organization, but the reason she went after Lisa is still unknown. Sarah also needs to use her identity as a police officer to continue the investigation. The next day, the killer's motorcycle was discovered by the police. According to eyewitnesses, the night before, someone broke into her house. When hiding in her bathroom to treat the wounded, was caught by her son. When the Black brother asked the boy what the killer looked like, she pointed at Sarah. Fortunately, the Black brothers just understood that the criminal was a woman. After the Black brother walked away, Sarah crouched down to comfort the boy. The little boy told her that the killer said he would come back for her, and left behind a piece of graffiti paper. Looks like the killer knew she'd be here. After returning to the police station, let's analyze the whole case. Then someone called Sarah, waiting for Sarah to pick up the phone. The other party is the killer. She told Sarah her name was Helena. If you want to know the answer, go see her. And she's given directions. Just then, Black brother cracked the numbers on that note. From Sarah's burial site to the apartment where Black was attacked. Each number points to a crime scene, and the last number points to who did. Everyone rushed there immediately, and Sarah just left. Helena used her identity to infiltrate the police station.